previously, because it was really competitive, we were able to quadruple the number of streets that we paved.
Wow.
We tripled the number of trees that we trimmed. Back then, before I was able to make these changes, the trees were literally growing faster than our crews could trim them. You know, because quite often you'd have one guy trimming and 3 or 4 guys watching them trim.
Right, I've seen that. I've seen that.
With the city workers. And so we privatized
They call that
it.
3 guys supervising the 1 guy trimming, right?
So we privatized it. We went with a private company. We took that entire budget that we were spending for our own city employees. We spent it on a private company that was competitively bid. They went out there and they knocked out the whole city in a couple of months, and the people were just ecstatic, just like, I've never seen this city look so beautiful. And not only were the people happy about how beautiful the city was looking, but it also saved us money down the road, because now a lot of the trees that were bringing up the sidewalks and the curbs, we didn't have to replace the sidewalks and curbs because we took out the trees that were getting ready to do that. The tree limbs weren't falling on the cars, so we didn't have the lawsuits against the city that we had to pay these claims.
Wow.
You know, so we were actually even saving more
You were
money.
saving more
so
money.
then we could do more things for the community. So at the same time we were cutting taxes, we were dramatically increasing services.
Very good. That sounds like what we need. Now, taking this up to the governor level, statewide level, what would you, if enough people said, you know, I'm tired of Tweedledum and Tweedledoo, they just keep doing the same thing, I'm just going to blindly vote Libertarian this time. Maybe Art will make a difference, because I saw him on that guy's show in Santa Maria, and then somebody, you know, we're going to put this on the internet so people will be able to watch this statewide. And you got elected.
Well,
Day one, what's the first thing you do? Day one, you walk in there, you sign the certificate of oath, and you're now governor. What do you do?
First of all, I don't think people will blindly do it, because they're going to vote for me for a reason. Because they did see me on William Wagner's show, of course. But well, one of the first things that I'm going to do is I'm going to enforce some of the laws that the voters have passed in California. One of those laws, which was Proposition 215. I want to make sure that that local law enforcement have a vehicle to allow Proposition 215 to be enforced. Proposition 215 was a medical marijuana initiative that the voters in California passed, and I think it's important that we passed, you know, that we actually implement. I mean, we passed it, but local law enforcement has not implemented it. And quite often, local law enforcement work with the federal government hand in hand to raid the people that are just providing medicine to sick Californians. And I think that is just so wrong on every single level. And I think that local law enforcement, if they want to cooperate with the federal government and raid these cannabis clubs, I think their funding should be cut.
The state funding to help the local police forces?
Their state funding.
Wow, that'll get their attention.
Yes.
That will definitely
and that's
get their
the governor's
attention.
job. I mean, that's when I take the oath of the office, I am there to implement and enforce the laws of the state of California. And that's...
But you're right. 215 passed. We had a former candidate named Steve Kubby who was running for governor. And we talked about him on a prior show 4 years ago, and he went to jail, actually. They set him up to be arrested because he had a piece of dried psychedelic mushroom, and I forget, 20 little marijuana plants, because he needed it for his pancreatic cancer.
Yeah, he shouldn't even be alive right now.
He should have been dead a long time ago, but the marijuana is keeping Steve Kubby alive so he can raise his daughters. And the government just went crazy. I got to take my hat off for you. That is a great position to take, and it's a brave position. I'll take my hat off for Olivier here, because I don't see the Democratic candidate, what's his name, and the governor, what's his other name. I don't see them standing up and taking a position to enforce the California law adopted by you, we the people. I think it was 52%, I think, voted. Wasn't it 52 or 53% voted to decriminalize medical marijuana